Hello and welcome to this very special Dual Universe podcast. I'm your host and community manager, N.Q. Naris. Today we'll be taking an up-close look at the winning entry of our recent space station building contest. I'm joined by the very talented community member who's responsible for the AMN Aspire station. Welcome, Flip360.
Hi. Hello. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for joining us today. Congratulations on the win. We are so pleased with your build. Can you tell us a bit about the station and its purpose?
Oh my gosh, I'm just so honored. Thank you. Sure. We started designing it in Blender, so we have a blend file for it, and it happened to work very well with your projectors. So we projected it onto a couple cores and just started building it out from there after we approved the design.
And you're saying we, so were there other people involved in this build?
Indeed, we had a kind of a station committee that we went through several designs and kind of picked and chose which ones to go with, and we landed on this one and we got started. We got the whole org behind it, so there's a lot of people out mining, and we really couldn't have done it without them because there's so much material to collect for it. It was a lot of work, so I really got the org New Genesis to thank for all the effort that they put into it as well.
That's great. Where did you draw your inspiration from when you were coming up with this design? I know you mentioned that you had some others that you were looking at.
They were actually, this is kind of funny, I'm also part of ODY, so Objective Drive Yards. There was a post in one of their Discord channels about a random generator for Blender, and it's actually, this station was randomly generated, so it's completely original as far as I know. Because there's a million different configurations that we could do, so I did have to use a little bit of skill with it. So I, copied some things, mirrored it, stretched some aspects there. But in the end, this is what we ended up with, and we just went to town at it. So we've been working on it really hard since the competition started.
How long did the build take you?
Pretty much since it started all the way to the end. We were busting our tails all the way up to the end date. In the video, there's some, under construction signs. So those were the rooms we didn't quite get finished, but we're still working on it, actually.
What's your favorite element of this build?
Probably just the shape of it. The randomness was really neat, but it's also got symmetry, and I'm really big on symmetry. My favorite element of the build is probably the symmetry and just the amount of voxel work that went into the design.
And what struggles did you face when you were going through this build process?
A lot of times, the voxels take a lot of finagling. Sometimes some shapes work better than others, and it's just a lot of trial and error and patience to get it to the level that we wanted it to be at.
You mentioned prior to the interview that you had a lot of thoughts towards the build itself. For example, your industry room ended up being a lot smaller in the end than you thought it would be. Can you tell us about that or a similar scenario?
Oh, sure. So when the building is in a shell, it looks so much bigger on the inside without all the walls and all the elements. We're like, oh man, we're going to have so much space for this. And we started putting in floors and walls, and we start putting in elements, and we're like, oh man, this is not as big as what we actually thought it was going to be. So it was just kind of funny. So like in the industry room, you saw that there were industry units on the walls and on the ceilings, and it's just everywhere. It was super crammed, but I liked it. We really liked the way it turned out. It still ended up matching, and it makes everything that we need to make. Is
everything inside the build functional?
It is.
And I understand you have a really impressive elevator.
Yeah, that's thanks to our scripters. We have a guy that actually made an elevator, and we decided to incorporate that into the design of the station because we just like the idea of the way elevators work in real life. So you can actually press a button, and the elevator will bring you from floor to floor.
What advice would you give to other builders in Dual Universe?
Oh, just stay at it. Get your inspiration from wherever you need to get it from, other builders, pictures, whatever, and just stay at it, stay focused, and just keep working on it till you get something that you're happy with.
How did you discover Dual Universe?
I actually found Dual Universe on Kickstarter. So I was one of the very first Kickstarter backers way back in the day.
What do you spend the most of your time doing in Dual Universe?
I would say building. Yeah, building. I do a little bit of mining when I get a little bit brain fried, but Yeah.
And what's the next big build coming?
You know what? I don't know. I just kind of take it as we go. A lot of times I just help other people with the interiors of their ships. I help people with fixing their voxel issues, so it's pretty fun.
Oh, we appreciate that you take the time to do that to help others as well, Flip.
Yeah, it's I love doing it. It's fun.
Is there anything else you'd like to tell us today?
I really love this game. It's so much fun. I have literally probably played every single weekend that the server has been up. I've not missed a single test. So I'm super addicted, and I love everything that Nova Corp is doing.
That's great. We love hearing that too. Thank you for taking the time to join us today on this amazing little tour of the AMN Aspire station. It has been an absolute pleasure speaking with you today, Flip360, and we thank you for sharing some of your insights, and congratulations on the win.
Oh my gosh, thank you. Thank you so much.
Be sure to like and subscribe to our channel and never miss out on Dual Universe coverage. We welcome your comments and feedback. I'd like to thank you for taking the time to join us. Until next time, this is NQ Neris signing off.